Hello friends, it's Garson, and today are we talking about some kind of crazy multi-class like Monk, Warlock, and Rogue? And what are these two characters? Ooh, interesting. No. We're keeping it simple actually. We're going to talk about Fighter 12 Battlemaster. We're keeping it simple because I want to talk about Battlemaster, and I love Fighter. In fact, I get amped up when I think about, playing a Fighter again. It's been a while. So let me go ahead, have some show some destruction here. What you can do is pop an oil, cast some haste with a scroll, so you don't have to let your wizards or whatever, they can concentrate on something else. Let's start a little mayhem. I'm gonna throw a shoe at Murphy here. Here, Murphy, screw you. What the hell was that about? That's right. So we'll get them all rounded up. Let's get these guys out of here. You're not part of this show. There we go. Hide them. There we go. Come back here. Come back here. All right. And we'll give him a chance to come after me. Too bad it won't be any good. Ooh. Oh! I'm gonna pay for that. Mm-hmm. Come here. That's right, Cuthbert. And he goes for them in the darkness. What a doofus. Oh no, I have to save my friends. Alright, so check it out. We have a crazy utility of what we could do here. So what we can do is go ahead. Nah, we're not going to send him flying. Let's see if we can make him trip. Whoopsie. Do some massive damage with that. Finish him off. Uh-oh, we got a kill. Now we can use one of our actions because we got a new one from Bloodlust. We can dash. Come over here. Scare the living daylights out of Murphy. Oh my goodness! We can use our bonus action for another attack. Oh my god, it's never ending. Oh, we can come over here, save our friends with Cuthbert. And if we don't have enough actions, it's okay. You know why? Because we can action surge. Of course, action surge. And now we can just eat this guy. Alright. Good god. So, in just one round of combat, a Battlemaster can slaughter a lot of foes with high damage, right? Because look at that, we were hitting for like 36, 39, 31, 37, okay? 40 even. And on honor mode, that is actually very high damage, as you can see with the honor mode difficulty and tactician. And this is what I really like about Battlemaster and Fighter. So as always, we're going to get into it. We're going to have a little simple talk. It's not going to be too long. I'm going to blitz through some stuff, but talking about Battlemaster and simple. Is it all that simple? Well, let's get into it. I thank you guys for watching. If you want to support the channel, just stick around to the end, alright? And I want to quote Sun Tzu here, fear the dude who fights wizards and dragons in a suit of armor and a great sword, right? So, legit quote right there. Quick, okay. So, less is more. When we're talking about Fighter, Battlemaster, and keeping it simple, but I do want to kind of go over the complexities that are hiding in disguise, okay? So I will go over the build specifically, but there is, what I'm trying to get at here is, it's nice to keep things simple. It's nice to have a dude like this on your team, right? It could even be your main character, right? But there's a lot of versatility that goes into this, and Fighter, in my opinion, well, let's get right into it, right? So what I love about Fighter is, I don't do the whole God tier, S tier, A tier, B tier, whatever. Okay, but I do think it's up there. It's my second favorite class for a reason because it's easy to pick up, right? And it's not like a high skill ceiling kind of situation, but you do get rewarded for the mastery. The more you understand what you can do in this game, the more you can keep coming back to this good old Fighter or even Battlemaster and do a lot of crazy stuff with it, right? And I'm going to keep it simple with this build in this video, but what I'm trying to spell out for you is between all the proficiencies, because you can do a lot of different armors, weapons, you have everything at your disposal no matter how you want to build your character, right? With the fighting styles, say you want to use a two-hander, say you want to go just armor and be more defensive, or maybe you want to go dexterity based in archery, you can do that. There's these fighting styles, you can pick up any type of weapon, and unlike other classes, you get 4 feats. So whether you're multi-classing or staying in Fighter, you're going to get it at 4, then 6, your bonus feat, and then 8 and 12 like normal, all right? So multi-classing right here is a good break point because you get an extra attack, but you get another feat, right? Or you can go to 8 and then multi-class, or you just keep it pure and Fighter. And level 12, at level 11, you'll get 2 extra attacks, and you'll get another feat at 12. So there's a lot of different ways we could take this Fighter, especially Battlemaster, right? And 2 extra attacks, so you know, in honor mode, it's great to have 2 extra attacks, right? So what I'm talking about here is the extra attack you typically get on marshals, right? It says extra attack, but we have improved extra attack. So at level 5, we'll get, when we strike once with our attack, right? With an action, we can now trike a second time, or we can throw somebody, shoot a bow. We can do 2 weapon actions, right? But at level 11, fighter will pick up improved extra attack, okay? And what this means is we get an additional third attack from just 1 action. And on tactician and lower, we can use this for every action. It's crazy, but it's not that unique because we could maybe incorporate warlocks, pact of the blade, and another class's extra attack, and you get that. But on honor mode, a few things change, okay? And I highlight honor mode because I think it's the best mode. I think anyone can play it after they get past maybe the intimidation or think it's unfair. It's actually really crazy exciting, and this is why I try to do these videos, right? But in honor mode, what's going to change is your first action taken, okay, on a turn, that's going to lead to your extra attack. So only 1 action per round is going to let you do 1, and then 2, and then 3, okay? And that's a big distinction, big difference. It kind of nerfs all the other extra attacks and really indirectly upgrades the fighter's 3rd bonus attack, right? Because now nobody else can do this. Also, you can't just go Pact of the Blade and extra attack and get 3 extra attacks. You can still do that in the lower difficulties, but Larian made a change in honor mode where it was supposed to be that you can't combine the 2, and so this brings back fighter to being a little more special with that extra attack, okay? So between all of that, all I'm trying to say is you have 3 attacks where other classes don't, okay? And this can be very powerful in honor mode, even with that restriction to the first attack, okay? Then there's Action Surge, which is very unique. Everyone loves Action Surge. It's the reason people dip 2 levels into fighter. Having a whole nother action, even as a sorcerer, wizard, whatever, can mean you can cast haste or drop a sleet storm and whatnot. On a multi-class, it means you could attack even more. In honor mode, it typically means it's just 1 more attack on your simple fighter right here, right? But even that is pretty good because of Battlemaster's maneuvers and whatnot, okay? And Action Surge, what's really unique about Action Surge is it doesn't just give you another action, it treats it like that first action we were talking about. So between your initial attack and your bonus Action Surge attack, you'll actually have 6 attacks in honor mode, even with just a 2-hand Great Weapon is insane, okay? Add in something like Great Weapon Master and Bloodlust, you go to 7, 8 attacks, it's wild. All right, so this is a very important distinction here. That's why I kind of stopped a little bit there. You also get this cute little heal, Second Wind. It does upgrade with the more fighter levels, so that's a guaranteed 12 plus the 1d10, but it's not the craziest thing. It is on bonus action, and it comes back on short rest, so it could be the meaning of the difference between life and death early on, and a nice little activation on some of these rings and amulets later on, okay? And they also, fighters just don't stop fighting. So even though we use a short rest resource here, I'm just highlighting the fact that in a long rest period, you have your short rest, 3 short rest periods, and you have your spell slots and your battle master dice and all this, but you can still keep fighting. So I go long stretches sometimes in my honor runs where I just don't, I try to roll the benefits from a, like, you know, some kind of unique buff or whatnot, but even then, it doesn't matter. They just keep fighting, and in a fight, even if they blew through all their resources, they still have those 3 attacks to fall back on and just beat the crap out of enemies, right? So they're extremely versatile too. I'm trying to keep this build and this video simple, but I also want to do it in a way to highlight that whether you go pure level 12, something I highlight a lot, or multi-class, we all know multi-class is crazy, lets us do fun, crazy things with our characters. It's just, there's a lot of versatility because of what fighter brings to the table and why it's such a popular multi-class, okay? But even just level 12s, right? Because you have these 3 subclass choices and 4 feats and the gear equipment choices, you can do a lot of silly stuff. I showed in a previous video, we can actually make a caster who just casts Firebolt, but you can make it really strong, and it's just a level 12 fighter, okay? Let's talk about Battlemaster and why I love it. I didn't initially love this. I was like an Eldritch Knight guy, right? Eldritch Knight not really being a spellblade like I wanted to. It's still really powerful. Champion, I think, is really undervalued. It's simpler than even this, but it brings a lot to the table as well. And then, like I said, the fighter versatility. But Bad Manners Battlemaster over here can do a lot with seemingly little, okay? So let's just talk about the subclass, what it gives you. At level 3, you get superiority dice, and I like that name because I think this really does add the superiority. But what it does is it gives you 4 of these dice on short rest down here, right? These are replenished on short rest, so just use them in combat. That's what they're there for, right? And you can think of them as ammo for your special maneuver attacks, okay? Some of these maneuvers actually add the dice damage in, and precision attack here will actually add in the accuracy. So you'll blow a dice and add it as accuracy, whereas others will blow the dice and add it as damage. You can also use it for things like evasive footwork that lets you become, you know, more resistant to getting hit. Okay, there's also, like I said, they come back on short rest. So see how there's 3 right now? If I blow a short rest, now there's back to my maximum 5. Okay, so you initially start with 4 and they are a D8 dice. And you get to choose 3 maneuvers when you go to level 3 and choose the subclass. There's too many, but in a good way. Like I said, evasive footwork is really good for adding disadvantage to attackers for a whole round. That's pretty cool. Precision attack will allow you to add your dice to your accuracy rather than damage. So it could be the difference between a strike that hits and kills or misses, like a flub, you know? Riposte is amazing because you get a reaction attack. So if somebody misses you, you can use this dice on reaction and strike them back, and it'll add in the dice damage too. So this is really awesome for doing damage when it's not even your turn. Okay, there's also feinting attack. If you're willing to blow a bonus action and a dice, you'll get advantage on the strike plus the dice damage added in. I think this is very undervalued as well. But there's also just a bunch of utility attacks. You could trip people, you can push them. So depending on what you choose with your maneuvers, you can really just customize your character right then and there, right? At level 7, the dice go up by 1, so you get actually, instead of 4, you now get 5 like I do. And you can choose 2 more maneuvers adding to your Batman utility belt of what you want to do with your fighter here. Then you go to level 10, and your superiority dice now becomes even more superior, because now they're D10s, okay? So we're adding now 1d10 to our damage if we're using moves like that, or 1d10 to our accuracy. Okay, so this becomes even more enhanced, plus you get even more maneuvers. Okay, so I'm up to, I think, about 7 maneuvers here between the evasive, precision, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think the riposte, right? So I have 7 maneuvers now. I can really customize how I want to use these. And like I said, just blow them. They're on short rest. That comes down to 15 in total over a long rest period. Or if you have a bard, you can have even more, right? And simple. This is what I'm talking about in the video. So simple is good for 2 different reasons, right? Less is more, or more than meets the eye sometimes. Less is more means you can just get in there, play Baldur's Gate 3. I don't care what difficulty it is. Even on honor mode, you're going to love a guy who can just be on your team, maybe even your main character. Maybe you're in a co-op run. They just go in and attack, right? If that's what you want to do, you could focus on just strength, pick up heavy armor, have a bunch of feats to choose from, take good things like alert, so you can attack first, great weapon master, so you can do 10 more damage on your attacks, and then you get to hit 3 times. 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then action surge, and then next fight you're going to get all your dice and your action surge back and your little heal here. It's simple, it's fun, it's easy. You just get in there, right? And I say all the time with strength characters, another thing is I can just carry loads of stuff, and when it gets really unorganized, I just go type and bam, I'm back into the playing the game rather than organizing menus. Okay, sometimes that's amazing, actually all the time it's amazing, but it doesn't have to be so simple, right? I'm going to show you a simple example with the build, but like I said, I could make this guy into a caster. I could make this guy into an archer. I can make anything I want out of Battlemaster and fighter for that matter, right? And I love a class and a subclass that rewards more the more you know about a game, because you just keep coming back to it and you're like, I could just play this game with 12 fighters. This is amazing. And I have done that in tactician and honor mode. I've made a fighter that just heals. I've made a fighter that's just archery. I've just made a fighter that casts a cantrip. I've made a fighter that just uses dual wielding and great weapon master and all that stuff, right? The more I know about a game, the more I know what I can do with something as simple as this, right? Equipment also has a huge impact. We could be using reverb gear rather than these gloves, right? I could be causing thunder damage on my weapon strikes, and with reverb I could make opponents more susceptible to things like lightning blast or Everard's black tentacles here, right? I could use casting gear like this, advantage on constitution saving throws, so now I can use haste without letting blowing a spell slot and having somebody concentrate on it for me, right? Equipment can have a huge impact on gear, and you'll see what I did with this guy, right? Feats can dramatically change the way you play your character. Like I said, a feat could be, since you have 4 of them on just a level 12 fighter, you could actually pick up Initiate Druid and take a feat. What is it? The Initiate Druid. You can take the Shillelagh cantrip, and now you can use a 2-handed great staff, or just a staff, quarterstaff, and quarterstaffs that give you like a cantrip. So now you could cast Firebolt even if you don't have it on your character, but also you can use Shillelagh to use your wisdom or your intelligence, I forget which one, depending on how you build the character, right? You can now use these stats as your attacking weapon attack stats, but also as your casting stat to cast that cantrip. So that is a dramatically different way to play a fighter, all because a feat can change that for you, right? Or maybe it's the difference between 10 more damage on your great weapon, or maybe your sharpshooter all in 10 more damage on your bows or your hand crossbows, right? So all I'm getting at is I think there's a lot of feats that people don't understand what you can do with it, especially when you have 4 of them, so you can fit in things like alert, great weapon master, 2 more strength, and more HP, right? Multi-classing obviously brings a lot to the table, so I won't talk about that. I think you can figure out a lot of stuff. A cool multi-class I did with Battlemaster was a lore bard, so I could have cutting words and some spellcasting in there, and then I went Battlemaster so that I had this awesome superiority dice maneuvers and just good extra attack at level 6, right? It's awesome. Brainworms also bring a lot to the table. You can get ability drain, you can get things like force conduit and force tunnel, whatever. There's just a lot more customization here if you're willing to use brainworms, and they're just good. So Battlemaster and fighters are just good. Like I told you about the honor rule set, just as a highlight, you can do 3 attacks. So in honor mode, you could say that a lot of other classes got nerfed with the changes to the honor rule set, and this indirectly buffs the power of something like having 3 attacks on your fighter. And then, like I said, with Surge, you're now up to 6 attacks, and then based on how you build that character, I can have Bloodlust, that's 7 attacks. I can have Haste, that's 8 attacks. I can have Battle Master or Weapon Master, that's 9 attacks, right? So I can get a lot of attacks with Honor, and in Honor mode, more attacks I can do, as always, is very important, but knowing how to spend them and use them is really crazy, right? Also the short rest or no rest even, we can just keep on fighting. So I find that that's really crazy, that no matter what team you put this guy on, he's just consistent and can keep going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny, all right? And maneuvers that match the team could be the difference between landing a lightning bolt because you trip somebody and now they're prone and they're more vulnerable to the dexterity saving throw spells, right? Or you could push somebody off a cliff and kill them or get them away from your allies while still doing damage, okay? So maneuvers can really match up a team, and the customization for such a simple Battlemaster right here could make the difference on a team with a reliable attacker and someone who can actually push or support the team with those maneuvers, okay? And they're just strong, okay? I don't have to highlight this too much. They just attack and attack and attack and attack, and that's fun. Right? And it's an easy 1-stat focus. You don't have to do this, but I try to recommend this sometimes. I've talked about Statman, where you can build very interesting characters like Gale here. He has all the stats. He's got 27, 18, 20, and 22, and 23. And this is a very advanced multi-class, and I love this multi-class. It's probably my favorite, but I'll talk about it in a different video because the highlight here is I'm also a supporter of just going all level 12 and all in on 1 stat, right? 16 con here is just from HP, wisdom, we have more stats to throw around, it's for saving throws, but really all you have to do here is just strength, right? And we can actually get this thing up to level like 24 strength if you know what you're doing, without even a strength elixir. When you focus on 1 stat, it makes your life a lot easier. You have 4 characters on a team, so just having 1 dude, 1 stat is actually a real benefit when you're trying to juggle so much, and you can just keep it really simple with the gear and just know this guy just attacks and he just does strength, and that's great because that already provides a lot between having a pack mule that can carry a lot, attack very reliably, accurately, and damage a lot, and also just throw people off a cliff and push them with shove, right? And they can jump around the battlefield with a jump. And all I'm getting at here, I've said it enough, but you could be very customizable. We're not going to show too much customization with this character, but just know, like I said, with 4 feats, the 3 attacks between using a bow, a sword, and chucking people around with the battlefield, you can do a lot with 3 attacks, especially in honor mode. And you can use any weapon and armor type. I can make even higher armor class than this just wearing robes because I know what I'm doing with my equipment, right? But also shields, rings like the armor class ring, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of customization that equipment just brings to it, and then how you multi-class that is going to take it even further, right? And of course, whatever stats you go for, if you build, say, a dexterity fighter, you can do it all. You have reliable ranged weapons and you have reliable melee weapons, okay? And you also have good initiative and defense with the armor class and so on and so forth. So what stat you go for and all of these other features really makes just a level 12 fighter alone, let alone multi-classing, really versatile. But let's keep it simple. Let's get into build time. I'm going to over explain this thing. You ready? So let's actually take a look at our mysterious goblin slayer, whoever this is. They're pretty powerful, pretty dangerous. I'm going to reload this so I can show you its full power. We are level 12 pure battle master. The only stat we really care about is 17 strength, and we'll start out with 17 strength and 16 constitution. This is for your concentration, but also your HP. You want to get into the thick of it in melee and still survive, and there's a reason I do this, okay? But 17 strength, if we get the hag here, we can actually get 18 strength pretty quickly. And if our first feat was 2 strength, we'd just have strength. We already have 20 strength by level 4 or 5, depending on when you get that hag here. So that's really powerful because strength is going to add in accuracy as well as damage to your great weapons, right? So it's going to add that flat damage, and if you get a weapon like Baldur's sword, you get double that strength value. See how we get the +6? That's accuracy and flat damage. But then this doubles up. This is a special legendary sword that'll add that 6 again, so we get even more damage out of our strength, right? Alert is very important as a feat because it gives us 5 initiative and we cannot be surprised. When you're not going dexterity, you're losing out on initiative, your ability to go first in a round, and that's very important, especially on higher difficulties, okay? Great Weapon Master adds 10 flat damage, and if you don't know already, drag this down to your hotbar so you can turn it on and off very easily, because when it's on, you lose 5 accuracy, but you get 10 more flat damage to your weapon attacks, okay? Your great weapon master attacks, when you're two-handing a weapon, I should say, okay? And so toughness also adds, we have constitution that gives us HP. Depending on your class, you get certain HP benefits for leveling up, but tough is actually going to add, I think 2 more HP for every level up, right? Your hit point max increases by 2 for every level, so we're at a very nice, sturdy 136 HP. And tanking is not really a thing in this game, except when it is, okay? What I mean by that is if you have HP and you deliberately know how you set your armor class at a pretty comfortable, hey, I want you to hit me, but you also can't hit me all the time, you can actually force targets or get their AI to come after you, especially when you're close in the melee range. And this could be really important, okay? Because if we use some gear here, right? What we're going to do is, you could go with a lot of different helmet choices, a lot of different equipment choices. What I chose is Constitution saving throw on this helmet, and I also can't be blinded. These are both equally important, because if I'm not blinded, I land my very not so accurate attacks. Great Weapon Master is already low accuracy, so to be blinded would just murder the use of this, right? So we want to make sure we don't get blinded. Okay, we can also abuse darkness for other strategies. And the Constitution advantage, I have decent saving throws on Constitution, and what this really relates to is concentration. So the reason I cast haste, right, with this helmet, I now have advantage, so even when I'm taking hits, I won't lose my concentration because of this bonuses, plus the advantage to keeping that concentration. So I can actually cast haste on myself, or maybe Sleet Storm, or put a terrain out like Evered, right? Or even Blur. And I can use it with the scrolls I've been picking up, and so I won't be dropping concentration too easily, even when I'm taking hits, okay? So Adamant is an interesting choice. Do you know why? There's other heavy armors that give better armor class. But like I said, if I know how to control the way the AI targets me, they'll more than likely go after me. If I'm not like in 22, 23, 24 armor class, they'll target me because I have the lower armor class than the rest of my allies. Plus, I'm near them, so they'll target me first. So if the AI thinks they can get a good hit off of me, then okay, they'll try and attack me. And if they do, I reduce damage by 2. So incoming damage, this mitigates a lot, actually. So 2 damage reduction. It could potentially cause reeling, which makes it harder to hit me anyway. Also makes it harder to hit my allies, right? And I cannot be crit. So even though they're hitting me, I'm less likely to die with this high HP pool, and I just don't take as much damage because of the mitigation, and I can't be crit, okay? And that's really important because I want to be hit. If they miss me, then it keeps me safe, obviously. It keeps other targets on my team from being hit. And if they miss me, I can get an attack on their turn with riposte with the superiority dice, okay? So I have a very good reason for doing this. Then there's the Master's Gloves. These are just 2 more accuracy and damage. Very simple. You can get a little strength saving throw. That's great. The persistent boots are very important. I think these are underutilized or undervalued. What these do is they give you freedom of movement. I cannot be paralyzed or restrained, so no entangling vines, no hold person. Also, my movement speed can't be mitigated, so difficult terrain is nothing to me, okay? Long Strider also gives me 10 foot, but you probably already have this on your team, so that's nice extra movement. When I'm hasted, that's actually 20 movement. If I'm dashing, that's 20 movement, so that's a good bonus. And having a little extra dexterity saving throw is nice because I don't have a lot there, okay? There's also the Harper Amulet. What this is going to do for me is add wisdom saving throw checks, so it's less likely that I get hit with hold person or slow or any of those dangerous wisdom saving throws. These could really slaughter your character, so you want something as simple as Amulet, and it gives me 1 shield for a long rest period. That's nice. Maybe not the best benefit. What I'm really using this for is the wisdom, but you could use a lot of different amulets with this build. Obviously, armor class ring just gives you armor class and some bonus saving throws to everything. That's nice. And then 10 more movement is really undervalued. I'm up to 50 movement speed. When I'm hasted, that's double. That's 100 movement speed. It's why I can run around the battlefield, beat the crap out of anybody. If I dash, right, if I have a bonus action or just an additional action, I can actually bloat on dash. It's a very good idea to do that because I'll have so many actions with this build. So I always want to get up to my targets and hit them in the face. Okay, so movement ring, armor class. Baldur's Greatsword, like I said, instead of 6 bonus flat damage, I'll actually have 12 thanks to this awesome legendary sword, plus the accuracy of a level 3 or a +3 legendary weapon. Hellrider's Bow gives me that bonus initiative, +3 initiative, plus I have the alert skill, so I'm up to 8, which is amazing. And then Bloodlust. Okay, between haste and Bloodlust, I get 2 more actions. I won't get 3 attacks with them, but I could do things like dash, or I could cast a spell, or I could use a scroll, or you know, I could throw a healing potion, whatever I want to do with it. Okay, so if we keep these 3 out of it, let's come over here into the back. I'll cast a little darkness, keep them out of the fight. What I'm going to actually do is just beat the crap out of everybody with Karlach. Ready? I mean, our mysterious Goblin Slayer. There we go. Let's go in with one of our free actions from haste. Bop somebody. Start some trouble. You ready? There we go. I'm actually going to put away the notes real quick. And I'm going to show you the damage numbers because this is kind of wild. Okay, so like I said, I can even just push him. But what I'll do is actually go in for a more accurate strike. Turning that off. Almost killed him with that. I'll finish him off with this. If I finish him off, I get another action. But also, with Great Weapon Master, if I kill somebody or crit them, I get my bonus action becomes another attack with my two-hander, okay? So I can run over here. I can turn this back on. I can use my bonus attack. See if I hit him. Yes, I did. Let's go ahead and send him flying. Oh, he missed. Okay. Well, then I'll just kill you anyway. All right. And then I can action surge. I'm not going to action surge. You know why? Because I don't think I can reach these guys. So what I'll do is I'll get into position. All right. And I'll precision attack. Oh, I didn't mean precision. I'll use evasive footwork. All right. This means I get more accuracy on my next attack, whatever it's going to be. But evasive footwork is going to allow me to take melee hits with disadvantage, so I'm less likely to get hit. You can sit back there, Gale. Thank you. Oh, no. I lost my concentration. No. Why does it keep switching over to Gale? So are we in trouble? Well, again, the heavy armor is mitigating a lot of damage. -2, -2, -2. Causes reeling when they do hit me. I'm back up. I'm incapacitated from lethargic. Uh-oh. Indomitable. Nice hit. 35 is pretty crazy. Alright. So Gale, stop coming over here. Okay. Alright, shield. Awesome. That was the one time I probably did want to use it. You can't restrain me because I have those boots. Keeps hopping over here. Okay. Impero. Alright. We're looking pretty dead. We're looking pretty dead. Alright. So, this is crazy. We're on the ropes right here. I'm going to action surge. I'm actually going to go in, grab a superior healing, so I get a little HP back. And now what we can do is cast haste again, like a madman. Remember that your action doesn't always give you 3 attacks, right? So I'll blow one free action to get me scroll of haste, right? And then I can just go to town. 1, and then we go 2. Oh, I killed somebody. I got another action, right? And because I'm hasted, I can reach people like that and that. So what I'll do is come over here.
In position.
Don't care about the robot. That's nice. Missed me this time. I'll send you tripping balls. Bonk. And now that you're on the ground, you're way easier to hit. Bonk. And then I'll come over here. How do you want to die? Oh, I just would rather not die. Oh, you want to go flying? Okay, here we go. Whee! All right. Be lucky I can't reach you. And again, you could use evasive footwork or whatnot. I can also just dash. I have the other action and the triple attack, right? And it's just like, wait, there's no way. You didn't have movement speed. Oh, yeah. You were dead! Apparently I wasn't. Look at that comeback. That's crazy. No. No. Ow. Yeah, well, you should have killed me. Oh, well. Okay. And because we got the kill, we get another bonus action. And now we just go to town on this guy, and we can use Topple the Big Folk. Boom! And we can also do a tripping attack, although I don't think we can do that, so we'll do a pushing attack. Get the extra dice damage in there, and we just keep swinging and don't stop swinging. Oh yeah. Look at all the frickin' attacks we can do. Yeah, boy! Pumped up! So, that's our Goblin Slayer. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that, because we're done. We got bloodlust! So how do you play and level up these builds? Well, before you know it, I will be putting something like this back in a run. It's been far too long since I've had something as badass and simple as this, honestly. And what you could do with it, hopefully I've shown it to you. Look at that comeback with our Goblin Slayer. But yeah, come watch the streams. I like to put builds like this on the videos, but then I actually either play them or test them out in honor mode on the streams, and we have more fun when people join us. We comment, we have like chat and like has all the cool tips and tricks. I don't just teach people stuff, I learn stuff from you guys. But yeah, we have fun in honor mode. I try to show things off like this, just show you it's not always about the crazy multi-classes. It's also, you can just build fun, crazy characters, even as simple as this one, and you can still beat honor mode and feel like an awesome badass. But yeah, I like answering questions and comments, whether it's in this video's comments or just come into the live chat. I'll try and help you out. But otherwise, you guys are our sponsors, so I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. Member support is as low as I can make it on YouTube, so if you want to support the channel, I thank you for that. But the best support is always just watching the video, and if you like it, obviously like and subscribe, all right? So you guys have an awesome one. Take it easy. I'll have another video out tomorrow, and hopefully I'll see you in the stream. Take it easy.